Okay, welcome to Friday. Okay, so I was just talking, we were sharing stories about God's goodness, and I just started to share the story of it's on the news, the former head of the Satanist church in South Africa encountered Jesus. and what happened was he was having a TV interview, and somebody asked him, like, do you believe that Jesus is real and alive today? And at the time he said no. And after that interview, a woman who worked for the TV station went up to him afterwards and just said, I'm so glad to meet you. And gave him this big hug. Like, and that's it. Like, just that's it. And he in that moment, he shares about how he was like, wow, there's just so much love in her hug. And then afterwards he discovered that she was a Christian, so she didn't preach at him or anything. She just like carried the presence of the Lord around this guy and gave him a hug, like full on, mother bear hug, right? And then he went off to do a ritual on his own to try and get more power. And Jesus showed up. I just love it. And he's weeping. You can watch the interview or the video where he tells the story of how he just felt like, he's like, man, I have never experienced so much love. And then he says something which is amazing. He says, the kingdom of heaven is not a gated community. And like everybody's invited. And he just shares this whole story. The full like video that he shares is, I think, about 40 minutes long, of just unpacking all that the Lord is doing and did. So anyway, you can maybe I'll post the link in the network, because it is amazing. It's just amazing. But my heart just kind of was heavy when he was talking about when people would apply to come and be a member of the Satanist church. In their stories, much of their stories were around how they were, really wounded by Christian churches. And so in his video, he says, I'm not joining a Christian church. What I want to do is lead people through their church hurt. I'm like, wow. So anyway, we need to be praying for this man, because, I just feel like this is kind of like a Saul to Paul kind of thing going on here. And I just love that Jesus just showed up in this satanic ritual, like, hello, here I am, So anyway, that's just fascinating. So cool story of God's goodness.